Psychological manipulation is a type of social influence that aims to change the perception or behavior of others. This occurs when a person is being used for benefit of another. The manipulator intentionally creates an imbalanced power and exploits their victim to serve his or her plan by using underhanded, deceptive, or even abusive tactics. There's three possible motivations from the manipulator. Firstly, the manipulator has the need to advance their own purposes and their own gain at almost any cost to others. Secondly, the manipulator has the strong needs to attain feelings of power and advantage in relationships with others. Thirdly, the manipulator's wants and need to feel in control. Every manipulator has their own hidden plan to achieve their secret objective. Depend on the individual, there's ways of how the manipulators control their victims. Positive reinforcement can encourage victims to carry on the situation, such as praise, superficial charm, superficial sympathy, and excessive apologies. Negative reinforcement can create an effective climate of fear and doubt. These include nagging, yelling, silent treatment, intimidation, threats, swearing, emotional blackmail, guilt trap, sulking, crying, punishment, and playing the victim. Traumatic one-trial learning to establish dominance or have the ability to condition or train victim to avoid upsetting, confronting, or go against the manipulator by using verbal abuse, explosive anger, or other intimidating behavior. Psychological manipulator can be a powerful obstacle to cross if you play by his or her rules. So beforehand, Preston Nee, an expert in communication, offers you guys the ways to help you avoid or overcome these situations. One of the most important advice is to know your fundamental human rights and recognize when the person is being violated. As long as it doesn't harm others, you have the right to stand up and defend your rights. Try your best to keep your distance and avoid engaging with the person unless you absolutely must. One way to detect a manipulator is to see if a person acts with different faces towards different people and situations. Some psychological manipulators dwell in extremes. For example, being polite to one individual and completely rude to another. Chronic psychological manipulators are complex and deep-seated. It's not your job to change them. The manipulator's plan is to look for and exploit your weaknesses, so avoid any personalization and self-blame that will make you feel powerless. Manipulators use this strategy to manipulate the victim to feel better about themselves so that they're likely to surrender their power and rights. When a manipulator makes an unreasonable request, it's useful to put the focus back on the manipulator by asking a few popping questions to see if he or she has enough self-awareness to recognize the unfairness of their schemes. This puts up a mirror on the manipulator so he or she can see the true nature of his or her move. If the manipulator has a degree of self-awareness, he or she will likely to withdraw the demand and back down. When the manipulator expects an answer from you right away, use the time to your advantage by doing the opposite and distancing yourself from his or her immediate influence. You can exercise leadership over the situation by saying, "I'll think about it." Take the time to decide on how you want to respond. It's important to have the ability to say no diplomatic but firmly to allow you to stand on your ground. If the manipulator won't take a no for an answer and insists on breaking into your boundaries, set consequence for them. is an important skill to stand out difficult person. This gives pause to the manipulative individual and force him or her from violation to respect. Lastly, confronting and stand up for your own right is the best option. Psychological manipulator is similar to any bully who will often back down if their target shows some backbone.